Pleasant good morning, Foundation years. It is I, Mr. Thompson. For those of you who may not know me, I am the music teacher, and it is indeed my pleasure to be here talking to you through this camera so we can have our music lessons. Okay, and hopefully we can be back face to face where we can actually experience the beauty of music lessons in person. For those of you who are new, I like to start off the music lesson with a nice general warm up, okay? And we're going to start that warm up by singing. Now, the name of this song is called Welcome to School, Welcome to Music. And the type of song that this is it's a call and response song. Can you say that for me, please? Call and response. Say it one more time. Okay, awesome. So call and response. Now, let me just tell you what call and response means. A call and response is when you have one person who is actually going to do the call. They're going to be saying something, and then the response will be the person who is going to be answering what the person said in the beginning, the call. So, for example, I'm going to be the call and you're going to be the response. If I say la, 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 and the response is going to be la, 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 la. So it's just a repeat of what the person who is saying that thing first, they say it first, and then the response would be the answer. Okay, so let's do another example. I'm going to say, time for music, clap your hands. And then you're going to say, time for music, clap your hands. Now, this is a familiar song, so you guys should know it. But we're only going to sing that first line, okay? Just so everyone can get the idea of what a call and response is. So here we go. Time for music, clap your hands. Your turn. Let's do that again. Time for music, clap your hands. Your turn. Last time, I think it's getting a little bit better. Time for music, clap your hands. Your turn. Good job. I think you guys got the idea of what a call and response is. So in this song, Welcome to School, Welcome to Music, everyone, we're going to demonstrate that call and response exercise, or that call and response concept. Okay, so the song is going to go like this. I'm going to call off the words for you because it's been a long break and some of you may not know the song, and also some of you may have forgotten the song. So I'm going to call off the words. I want you to repeat after me, and then afterwards we're going to get into singing the song. Okay, let's do it. So can you repeat after me, please? The first line goes like this, and remember, it's a call and response song. So I'm going to say the first line first, and then you're going to repeat after me. The first line goes like this. Welcome to school, everyone. Your turn. Let's do that again. Welcome to school, everyone. Your turn. Next part. Hope you have a lot of fun. Your turn. Again, hope you have a lot of fun. Next part. Now is the time to sing and play. Your turn. Let's do that again. Now is the time to sing and play. Okay? And our last line, and in this last line, we're going to add a clap. But I want you to pay very close attention to where I'm placing the clap. I'm not going to place the clap at the beginning of the song. I'm going to place it further at the end of the song, okay? But it's not going to be completely at the end. But just listen and watch, okay? So the last line is, hope you have a great day. So you fill the pause with a clap. Can you do that for me, please? I'll say it first and then you do it again. Here we go. Hope you have a great day. Your turn. Last time. Hope you have a great day. Good job. Now let's do that whole stanza again, the whole part of the first section of the song. So the song goes like this. Welcome to school, everyone. Your turn. Stay with my beat. Hope you have a lot of fun. Your turn. Next line. Now is the time to sing and play. Your turn. And the last line. Hope you have a great day. Your turn. Have a great day. Now the next stanza of the song goes like this, and this is going to be the last stanza. Welcome to music, everyone. Your turn. One more time. Welcome to music, everyone. Hope you have a lot of fun. Next line. Now is the time to sing and play. You know that line. And the last line. Hope you have a great day. Your turn. Great day. Now let's go to the top of the song. This time I'm going to add the music to it. Now I know some of you are still learning the song, but for those of you who know it, you can sing it like you know it. All right, let's do it. Here we go. Let's go from the top. Now I'm just going to transition out of the video so the persons who don't know the song can focus on the words. Hopefully the words will be able to be displayed on the screen, hopefully. But if it isn't, just do your best and let's make it work. All right, here we go. So here's our introduction. Let's do that again. Ready. That's our introduction. We're getting ready. My turn. Welcome to school, everyone. Your turn. My turn again. Hope you have a lot of fun. Next part. Now is the time to sing and play. Your turn.
Now is the time to sing and
Last part. Hope you have a great day. Your turn. And the last part of the poem. One song, three, and welcome to music, everyone. Your turn.
welcome to music, everyone.
Next line. Oh, you have a lot of fun. Make sure you're smiling with your friends because we're going to have a lot of fun. Now is the time to sing and play. And the last line. Hope you have a great day. Your turn. All right, good job, foundation years. I think you guys got through that pretty well. All right, so now let's begin with the topic of the day. Just before we left for our Christmas break, we went over a topic called Peter and the Wolf. I'm not sure if some of you watched the video, but I'm just going to give you a short summary of what Peter and the Wolf was all about. So Peter and the Wolf is a story about a boy who disobeyed his grandfather. And because he disobeyed his grandfather, what he did was he was trying to catch this wolf who was causing all of this mischief throughout this town. Now, luckily, Peter was able to catch the wolf, and along with some helpers, he had some helpers who were the musketeers. He had some companions with him who were the cat, you have the cat, you have the duck, and you have, that's it, yeah. So it was the cat, the duck, and Peter. And you had the three musketeers along with his grandfather. Now, each of those characters, Peter, the cat, the bird, the wolf, and the three musketeers, and the grandfather, that's 6 characters altogether. Each of those different characters has different instruments that represents each of those characters. So for Peter, the instruments that represent him is the string family. For the cat, you have another instrument. For the bird, you have another instrument, and so forth. So what we'll be doing in this video today is we'll be talking about the different instruments that are assigned to those characters. So we're now going to do a little story time that talks about Peter and the wolf. So you can just sit back, relax, and pay attention and listen, okay? Because I just may ask you some questions about this story in a short second after we're finished with the lesson. Here we go. So Peter and the Wolf is a musical story where all the characters are represented by different instruments of the orchestra. So, for those of you who don't know what an orchestra is a large body of instruments that has about 5 different families inside of it. You have the string family, you have the woodwind family, you have the brass wind family, and you have the percussion family. So that's 4 families, okay? So 4 families. You have the string family, woodwind family, percussion family, and the brass wind family. Now, let me just talk briefly about those different families and what are inside of those families. Okay, so for the string family, you have instruments that has strings. Now, not like the guitar. I know the guitar has strings, but it is not a part of the orchestra. Okay, it's a part of another ensemble, but not a part of the orchestra. Okay, so for the string family, we have the violin, the viola, the cello, and the double bass. Now, I'm going to have some pictures there so you guys can see what they look like. For the percussion family, we have instruments that you can shake and that you can hit in order to make a sound. So all of these instruments inside of the orchestra, they are categorized or they are placed in these different families because of the way or how they produce the sounds, okay? So for going back to the string family, instruments in the string family, they get their sound by either bowing, they have a bow and they bow across the strings, or by plucking the strings, okay? And I have my guitar here. Again, the guitar is not a part of the orchestra, but these are some little strings, some steel strings. The violin are made up out of different strings, but this is just to give you guys an idea of what the strings look like. So you press it and it's supposed to give you a different sound, right? So that's my guitar. And going on to the percussion family, those instruments, you can shake it like a shaker, or a maraca, or some egg shakers. Now for our next class, I'm going to show you those instruments so you can see what they look like. So percussion families, you can either hit it, shake it, or scratch it, The next thing we have is the brass wind family. Now these are instruments that are made up out of brass, and brass is a strong substance. It's a metal-like substance, and I'm going to show you that it's gold, and the color it can be either gold or silver. And some instruments in that family is the trumpet, you have the tuba, you have the trombone, and the cornet. And the last family we have is the woodwind family. Now, once upon a time ago, these woodwind instruments, they were made up out of wood, but now coming into, I think it was maybe about the 1900s or sometime around there, they switched over to using silver, okay? So you have instruments in that family. We have the flute, piccolo, clarinet, which is not made up out of silver, it is made up out of plastic. And we have, so the flute, the piccolo, and other instruments. I'll show you those as well. Okay, so those are the instrument families. Now, as the weeks go on, we're going to talk about those families more in depth so we can really get into those families and talk about the different instruments inside of those families. But now, let's get on to the story. So Peter and the Wolf, again, is a musical story where all the characters are represented by different instruments of the orchestra. So the bird is represented by a flute, and shortly you're going to see the video of the bird who is represented by the flute. Okay, we have the duck who is represented by the oboe, and we have the cat who is represented by the clarinet. And so the cat is represented by the clarinet, and we have the grandfather who is represented by the bassoon, and the wolf who is represented by the horns, and Peter by the strings. And the hunters, or the three musketeers, okay, the timpani is also represented by the hunters as well. The gunshots of the timpani, all right? I mean the gunshots of the hunters' rifles. Okay, so one morning, Peter opened the gate and went out on a big green meadow. A meadow is a big green pasture of green grass. On the branch of a tree sat a bird. The little bird chirped happily. A duck came waddling around. She went for a swim in the pond in the meadow. The bird and duck argued because the duck did not want to fly. She wanted to swim. Suddenly, a cat came slinking up through the grass. Little sneaky, sneaky, sneaky little cat. "Look out!" shouted Peter. And the bird and the duck flew to safety. Grandpa came out. He was angry. He was so furious because Peter had gone to the meadow. How many of you did not listen to Grandpa, Grandma, Mommy, and Daddy, and you still did what you wanted to do because, I don't know, you guys need to listen more to Mummies and Daddies. But let's move on. So he was angry because Peter had gone to the meadow. It's dangerous in the meadow. Why you think it could be dangerous in the meadow? Maybe because there was a little wolf, not a little wolf, but a big wolf inside of the meadow who was just waiting who was lurking, who was waiting to pounce on Peter to try and catch him for lunch. But so he then said, if a wolf should come out of the forest, then what would you do? He demanded. What would you do if your grandpa told you not to go out and you went out inside of the forest and then boom, a wolf just came up out of nowhere? Let's continue on, see what happens. So Peter didn't pay any attention to his grandfather, like most kids, but not you guys. I know you guys are good kids and you listen to Mommy and Daddy. So Peter didn't pay any attention to his grandfather because he was a brave hunter, courageous Peter. But grandfather took Peter home and locked the gate. No sooner was Peter gone than a wolf came out of the forest. So as soon as Peter went inside, that wolf came out and he was lurking because he smelt Peter. He smelt his body odor and he just smelt him. Okay, so the cat and the bird hid in the tree while the wolf paced below. Peter watched from the gate. So as the wolf was lurking around for Peter, searching, Peter was right behind the fence. He was right behind the fence and he saw this wolf. Now, Peter, because he was so courageous and so fearless, he wanted to catch this wolf. But let's continue on and see what happens. So he ran home. He got a rope and climbed up the stone wall. From the wall, he climbed onto the tree. He was climbing that tree. He climbed that tree. He made a lasso and let it down. And luckily, he caught the wolf by its tail. Okay? All right. So luckily, Peter, he caught the wolf. All right. Let's give a good job. Let's give a hand clap for Peter. Okay? All right. So good job, Peter. He caught the wolf. All right. So let's move on from this story. All right. Now we're just going to go over the themes of the different animals inside of this video. For this week, we'll just talk about the bird and the duck. Do you know the instrument that represents the bird? Can you just shout out the answer? All right, because most of you should have watched it in Christmas, but let's just see. If you know the instrument that represents the bird, can you just shout out the answer? All right, good job. So if you said flute, good job, good job. That is the instrument that represents the bird. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The instrument that represents the bird is the flute. Okay, and we're moving on to the duck. All right, now both of these instruments are inside of the woodwind family, and we'll talk about that a little later. But the duck, the instrument that represents the duck is called the oboe. Now the flute, the way the flute plays, it is known for playing more higher notes inside of the orchestra. Remember we talked about high notes and we talked about low notes? The flute is that instrument that is dedicated to playing those higher notes. Even though it can play lower notes, it is mostly known for playing high notes. And the oboe, it doesn't play those really low notes or too high notes. It can play both of those notes, but the range of the instrument, that meaning from high to low or low to high, the most comfortable range, or the range where that instrument, you can really feel the instrument and the different texture that the instrument is best at playing, is right in the middle. So it's not too high and not too low, but it's right in the middle. All right. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring those different themes inside of your head. The theme is the actual music musical piece that the instrument is playing, and I just want you to listen to it. And this is what I want you to listen for. I want you to listen for if the instrument is playing long or short notes. I want you to listen to tell me if the notes are either fast or slow, or if the notes are either high or low. And I'm not talking high and low in volume. I'm talking either a high pitch note or a low pitch note. Okay, so you're listening for high pitch notes or low pitch notes. You're listening for short and long sounds. And you're also listening for, what's the last one? If it's either fast or slow. Fast and slow, high and low, short and long. Okay, here are the musical
While listening,
examples.
point to the picture you think describes the music.
Okay. We're going to play the whole thing through, and then afterwards we're going to go back to answer the questions. Oh,
What instrument do you think represents the bird?
all right, let's go back to the top. Here we go. So this piece, is this being played fast, slow, or medium? Let's go back to that. I'll play it again. All right, was that fast, slow, or medium? Now it can't be slow because it's a that's not medium, that's fast. That's actually pretty fast. So another way to help you do that, if you're kind of unsure, what you can do is listen to it a few times, because I'm going to be playing it more than once. Just listen to it a few times and then try and sing it yourself. And because most times when you're able to sing it, it gives you a better understanding of what it is that's actually being done. Okay? All right, so let's move on to the next part. I'll play it again. Now, the articulation, that means, are the notes being played long, right? Long, smooth notes? Are the notes being played long? Or is it being played short? Short, 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 short. All right? Now, let's listen to that again and let's pick out the answers. Now I hear dum 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 dum. Now, is that long or is that short? Listen to it again. Dum 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 dum. If you said short and did separated notes, good job. So that was short. If it was long, it would have been da 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 da. That's long. But if it's short, dum 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 dum. Now I know I'm not singing the exact pitch of the notes, but that's just an idea of what a short separated note sounds like. Listen to it again. Dum 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 dum. That's very short. All right, now is it high or low? All right, was that example, was it high or low? I can't even sing that. Can anybody try and sing that melody? Just do your best. I'm going to play it again. One more time. Go from here. Okay, so from what I heard now that's not low. That is not low at all. So if you said high, good job. Okay, let's move on. So when we're talking about dynamics, does anybody remember what the word dynamics mean? I'll give you guys a few seconds. Okay, so if you said loud and soft, forte, piano, pianissimo, fortissimo. Good job. All right, so dynamics is talking about the volume of the sound. That is where we get into loud and soft. All right, now for the volume of this particular piece, which is it? Is it loud, soft, or medium, or quiet? Now, I would say that's a range of them because it didn't just really play one of them. It went from really quiet, then it gradually built up to medium, and then it got a little bit louder. Let's do that again. Let's go from here. Okay, it's getting louder. Done. Right. All right, so good job. If you got all of those right, good job to you. Kudos to you. If you got maybe one wrong, awesome job as well. If you got all wrong, don't worry about it. That's why we're here. We're here to learn this beautiful thing called music. So let's keep it going. All right, so I'm going to ask you this question. Which instrument do you think represents the bird? I told you guys this before, but let's see if you guys were paying attention.
What instrument do you think represents the bird?
Which instrument? Is it the oboe or is it the flute? We only really talked about two instruments. So is it the oboe or is it the flute? All right, if you said a flute, good job. Now here's a short description of what the flute is. I told you that a flute was once made up out of wood. Today it is made up out of silver and other metals. So to play the flute, you hold it like this and you blow across a little hole, just as if you were blowing across a bottle. So this isn't really a bottle, but if you've seen a Vitamol bottle with the small cone, I wish I had a bottle here, but I don't have a bottle. You would just blow over the top like that. I can't get a sound out of this because it's not a bottle, but yeah, that's the whole idea of it. All right, so let's move on. Let's see what else we
The
have.
flute was once. If you were blow.
Okay. Now I have a small little assignment that I want you all to complete. What you have to do is you have to trace the duck and you have to answer the questions that is listed on the paper. And then you also have to color the duck along with the bird. Okay, so it's the bird that you have to trace. You have to answer the questions. All right, whether or not you have to circle, was the bird playing high or low notes? They're not talking about if the bird flies high or if the bird was on the floor. They're talking about whether or not the bird or the instrument that represents the bird was playing either high or low notes. Or you have to choose, and not or, but the second question is you have to decide whether or not the bird, if the bird was moving fast or slow. Again, they're talking about the instrument. Okay, all right, so they're talking about whether or not the instrument, the flute, was it playing fast or slow notes? And then you have to color that bird and trace over the words. Okay, and then you have to do the same with the duck. Not answer questions, but you just have to color the duck and trace the words. Okay, so for today, that is our lesson. That was kind of a lengthy lesson. So what we will do is we will meet again, foundation years,